I'm very sad about it closing because I'm going to miss it.
So, why say goodbye?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the good and bad ways Disney has altered their theme parks over the years. We'll only be discussing Disneyland in California and Disney World's 4 main parks in Florida.
Anything you want. Just come back when your time rolls around to enjoy your favorite ride. And best of all, Lisa, guess what? It's absolutely, positively free.
1980s. While Disneyland and Disney World didn't experience many changes in the 1970s, the 1980s saw significant expansions made to the parks. Not all of them were considered good.
Fantasyland closed? It's never been closed before! What's happening, Mickey?
Nearly 3 decades after opening day, Disneyland did a complete overhaul of Fantasyland involving a lot of additions, removals, and redesigns. 2 casualties of the 1983 new Fantasyland renovation were the Skull Rock Cove and the neighboring Captain Hook's Galley.
What's good about it, Mr. Smee? Here we are collecting barnacles on this miserable island.
Both attractions opened decades earlier, offering guests a Peter Pan-inspired lagoon where they could walk under waterfalls and then grab a bite at Hook's restaurant.
That cursed beast liked the taste of me so well, he's followed me ever since, licking his chops for the rest of me.
During the expansion, Dumbo the Flying Elephant took over the area, where it remains as of 2026.
Now that's where Dumbo's new home is going to be. You know, he's getting ready to move already. He's got his trunk packed and everything. And this is where Peter Pan is going to fly in every night.
Overall, the changes made to Fantasyland had a positive impact. The rides were rearranged in a way that felt less congested, allowing guests to better navigate the crowded land. But fans of Skull Rock and the pirate ship still wish they could relive the experience. Disney World's Epcot also made big additions in the 80s.
The world of Epcot's all around you, but it's no fantasy. No fantasy. It's all alive and real.
When the park opened in October 1982, it housed 9 pavilions: the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Japan, the American Adventure, Italy, Germany, China, and Mexico. Those areas were already incredible, but between 1983 and 1989, there were 5 new ones, including Horizons, the Living Seas, Wonders of Life, and the Morocco and Norway pavilions.
True to Epcot's ideals, Maelstrom embraced the history of Norse mythology.
Expanding the World Showcase allowed guests to learn more about different cultures and enjoy various edutainment attractions. For the 1980s, the Epcot expansion was the best change, and removing Skull Rock was the worst.
A circle of nations that celebrates both cultural differences and shared human values. Yet the circle is not complete, and the roll call of nations and cultures from around the world has only begun.
1990s. In the 1990s, Disney parks went through more changes, removing and replacing different attractions, like the hell-themed Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disney World.
They're as normal as you and I. They eat, they sleep, they have jobs, they pay taxes. They have a passion for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? All right, well, some may say that's unusual.
One of the biggest changes was the removal of the Skyway gondola lifts. The Disneyland version was the first to close on November 9, 1994, followed by Disney World's closure on November 10, 1999.
I think it's an honor to have ridden on the last day of it.
I wish they never closed this ride down.
But most kids think the 3.5-minute ride from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland is just too long.
Although Disney cited, quote, metal fatigue, others have had their own theories over the years, like cost-cutting. No matter the reason, fans still mourn the stunning views.
Look around at the sky and the ground, every leaf, every tree. Look around at the joys to be found.
Disneyland's People Mover also closed in August 1995, another unique form of transportation. Another huge change in the 1990s was the relocation of Discovery Island from Bay Lake to a brand new park.
Visitors may spend as much time as they like exploring the island and its fictional landmarks. But it is, after all, the colorful inhabitants themselves who furnish the main attraction.
Closing Discovery Island on April 8, 1999 may have been considered a bad thing, but its closure was to make way for Disney World's recently opened fourth park, Animal Kingdom. All of its animal inhabitants were relocated to the park's safari section, later renamed Discovery Island. The actual island remains abandoned.
The lights remain on around the perimeter, but deeper into the overgrown paths on the island.
Surprised how dark it is in here.
The group discovers abandoned buildings and cages.
For the 1990s, the Discovery Island relocation to Animal Kingdom was the best change, and removing the Skyway was the worst. 2000s. Walt Disney World made a few alterations to their attractions in the 2000s, and fans believe the third renovation of a beloved Epcot attraction was a bad one. In 1983, the park debuted Journey into Imagination.
Oh, they can make our wildest dreams come true. These little sparks in me and you.
Dreams, fantasies, creativity. That's your journey into imagination.
Guests enjoyed the whimsy and wonder and the endearing relationship between Dreamfinder and his little dragon Figment. The second version in 1999, Journey into Your Imagination, was so disliked by guests that it closed after 2 years. The third iteration arrived in June 2002, and the Dreamfinder was still gone. His purple pal returned, but was now obnoxious and irritating. Removing a fan-favorite character was bad enough, but to double down and change the characterization of Figment really had guests unhappy.
Right you are, for right in there, imagination's everywhere. The visions once inside your head exist inside that place instead. Imagination is my game, the sparks of which ignite the flame of your own creativity.
One of the more positive changes of the decade happened over in Animal Kingdom. Standing at 199.5 feet tall, Expedition Everest opened on April 7, 2006, as a focal point in the park's Asia section.
There are signs of his presence. And then the train is stopped in its tracks.
There's no place to go.
Guests could ride through the Himalayas, and when they reached the broken track, the vehicle went backwards down the mountain and saw the giant audio animatronic Yeti. From its theming and storytelling to its immersive queue and innovative design, Expedition Everest is by far one of Disney World's top thrill rides.
Where are we gonna go?
And I was like, what are we gonna do now?
Oh no!
For the 2000s, the addition of Expedition Everest was the best change, and the third incarnation of Journey into Imagination was the worst. 2010s. In the 2010s, Disney World parks really upped their replacement of older attractions with IP-based attractions. The Studio Backlot Tour gave guests a behind-the-scenes look into filmmaking, which was the whole concept of Disney's Hollywood Studios park.
All right, that's great, kid. That's a wrap. Move on to the next bed. Here we go.
However, it was shut down in 2014, and 4 years later, Toy Story Land took over the area. The Great Movie Ride was one of Hollywood Studios' opening day attractions in 1989, and actually inspired the cinema-themed park. Ironically, the ride was all about IP. It featured iconic scenes and characters from films such as The Wizard of Oz, Mary Poppins, Singin' in the Rain, and Casablanca.
It was like a dream. It was amazing.
I love this ride. It brings back so many childhood memories.
To get up close and watch the films come to life, and you got to stop for a second and watch every character move.
The nostalgic attraction closed in August 2017 and was replaced by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in March 2020.
Nothing can stop us now. I knew somehow that we would finally make it. We've had one crazy ride, but with you by my side.
Not all IP-related changes were bad ideas. In 2019, Disneyland and Disney World both had what is perhaps the most explosive change of the decade. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge first opened at Disneyland on May 31st, followed by the August 29th opening at Hollywood Studios. The groundbreaking themed land lets guests fully immerse themselves and ride 2 new attractions, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance. For Star Wars fans, it's a dream to experience their favorite fictional world, and Disney made it happen.
It's also the culmination of over 60 years of Disney Parks innovation and technology.
There's so much of our DNA as a company that we've put into this and crammed together into this one amazing experience. These are the building blocks that the future's based on.
For the 2010s, the addition of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was the best change, and replacing the Great Movie Ride was the worst. 2020s. So far, Disney parks have seen quite a bit of backlash in the 2020s, maybe more than previous decades.
For an extra $20 a ticket, Disney Genie Plus will offer guests what it's calling a lightning lane entrance that will allow them to skip the long lines at popular attractions.
Controversial changes include eliminating certain park and resort perks, like FastPass Plus becoming a paid lightning lane in 2021, and shutting down Disney's Magical Express in 2022.
Pick you up with our airport bus, drop your bags and you at your doorstep. Plus, with the drive off your mind, leave your worries behind. Transportation, it's on us.
Ask most park fans what bothers them the most, and it's likely the IP-ification of Epcot's World's Fair.
It has to be in a state of becoming all the time, more than any other park.
And as the years rolled by, Epcot continued to reflect the moment.
The park abandoned the permanent World's Fair concept, instead capitalizing on Disney's robust IP, including attractions based on Frozen, Ratatouille, and Moana. While some guests feel like all originality has been lost with these attractions, it's undeniable that they bring in more money and attendance.
We have to make something that's so wonderful that you forgive us for replacing your childhood and you go forward and say, wow, I'm so glad this is here.
Replacing Splash Mountain with Tiana's Bayou Adventure in 2024 at both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom didn't bode well with some older park fans, but others can agree that it was a needed change. After gradually shuttering attractions like Primeval Whirl and Triceratops Spin, Animal Kingdom's Dinoland USA permanently closed on February 2, 2026.
You can see just how deserted it is. This part of Dinoland will transform into a new indoor ride based on the hit movie Encanto.
While the upcoming Tropical America sounds cool, Dino fans are still devastated by the complete closure of a beloved land.
Hey, aren't you guys coming with us?
No, we've got to try and get you back. Enjoy the meteor shower.
Like the prior decade, some of the IP-based changes received positive feedback from guests, like the May 2022 opening of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot.
That is honestly the greatest roller coaster I've ever been on in my life.
The epic indoor roller coaster took over the location of Ellen's Energy Adventure, which many agree was pretty outdated, so replacing it with a Guardians ride wasn't too controversial.
Of course, Epcot has the World Showcase, where countries come to show us about their culture, their technology, their people. Well, this will be our first other World Showcase pavilion.
For the 2020s, adding Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind was the best change, and the extinction of Dinoland USA was the worst. What defunct attraction do you miss the most? Are there any changes to Disney parks over the years that you do like? Let us know in the comments below.